Yeah, so hope you can see my screen, guys, and you can hear me,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that's fine. We will just try to go through what we have covered in the last session, like in the overview class of Power BI developer activities. So we just try to assume one employee, like there is some employee when he has got some opportunity in any company, and what will be his very common responsibilities after getting some project. So we assume some project like L'Oreal project. So he has been assigned to do some requirements in a tool called Power BI. He has making his own choice to use the Power BI tool to fulfill these requirements. So after deciding Power BI is a reporting tool to create all the visualization practice based upon the requirements that was given by client. So we were trying to discuss about the Power BI desktop, where he can create his report or the visualizations, where he can create or the report or some sample visualizations. And finally, he was able to publish the report to Power BI service, where the reports will store and published for the end users to review it, the clients to review it. So this is what the overall responsibilities of any Power BI developer guy. So if I speak about a desktop version, and if I speak about a service, so this entire part comes under Power BI desktop. So what is the desktop? What is the service now? So where I download my independent tool, which works like some Excel file. So this tool is available. This tool is available in my local machine, means a local computer like this. So this desktop tool is an environment where we open it, where we connect to the data, where we create the visualizations is the Power BI desktop. So that is what this 3 column states, C, D, E column states, that downloading the tool and then connect it to the data and then building the different visualizations by referring to the requirements given by client. So by this, so which is the developer tool, which is a referred environment here? Obviously, the Power BI desktop is the developer tool, where Power BI service is a referred tool. That means where clients or the end users will log into it, similar to the Facebook, and they will just review the work that you have done. They will just review the report that Karthik has published. So there are two major files that are available in Power BI. The major file is a desktop. The second file is the service. We cannot say service is a file. This is a cloud environment. But Power BI desktop is an offline tool which we call similar to an Excel file. Seema, this Power BI desktop is an advanced version to the Excel. See, you can see all these features. Like you can also create some visualizations on your Excel. Some page layout, you have some background updating and all. See, when you open your Power BI desktop tool also, you can find similar things. You can find similar things like home, ribbon, insert, and all these features that are available related to the Excel. See, this Power BI desktop is the advanced version of our Excel, where this is operated by Microsoft, which works on the cloud environment too. So this works on cloud environment. That means we can store these reports, whatever the reports that were created by me, I can store these reports anywhere in the world. So I can publish this report to some SharePoint. I can publish this report to my Google Drive location. I can have this I can have this report in my Power BI cloud also. So that means similar to the Excel, Power BI is one of the advanced reporting tool. Similar to the Tableau or a ClickView, Power BI is also one of the reporting tool. So where the Power BI desktop is the environment where we create our visualizations. In order to come on to this layer, what is the before layer? In order to build any visualizations, what I need more? I just need some data. In order to connect to the data, firstly I need to have some tool. So for this reason, I will download the tool and then I connect to the data and then I will build some visualizations based upon the client requirement. Finally, I'll publish it to the Power BI cloud where the end users or the clients will refer to it. So this is what the overall responsibilities of any Power BI developer. So in these developer responsibilities, as a training guy or as a recent learner on Power BI, firstly we should understand what is its desktop. What are the different things that are available in this desktop is a important thing that we should know. So if I speak about a Power BI desktop tool, as you can see, this is an independent tool. You can just see whenever I opened this tool, this looks like an Excel. So back, whatever the view that is, you can see in the back is Excel. Whatever that I am just moving over is the Power BI desktop tool. So you can just see Power BI desktop is your file name, but L'Oreal report by Karthik is what? The report that you have created yesterday, we have just given some name. But what tool it is? Power BI desktop. Whenever you open this tool, by default view is this. So after you open the tool, in the middle canvas, you can just see it is a place where you can place your different visualizations. See, whenever you go through any dashboards, so this dashboard layer is what? So this entire layer is created in the canvas part. See, so this is the part now. So how those visuals can be filled? We have the visualization layer. And how can I create these visuals? I need to have some data. So that means I have a place to build the visuals. I have the different types of visualizations. What type of representation that I'm expecting is I would like to see the population details by every year or every decade, or am I expecting to see or to create a pie chart based upon employee salary and all. From the requirement to the requirement, we refer to those visualization. See, you can just see some traditional bar chart, opportunity count, how many opportunities are there by each category. And you can also see some other visualizations. See, so this is a sales dashboard. You can just see the overall sales is shown on some single row card, and you can just see sum of sales by category that is given. That means there are 3 categories: office supplies, furniture, and technology. And what category is doing what type of sale or what sort of sale, and what is its percentage. So that means we have the different visualizations to create in our Power BI the same thing that is available in this place. All those reports was created in Power BI. That means I have the data layer where I can get the data, where I can pull the data into my Power BI. I have the visualization layer where I can create some sample visuals. If I speak about any category and some returns value, I can just take some card visual. See, as easy as that. See, my creation of the visuals is a kind of child's play. As easy as that. Once you got to know the importance of the visualization that I can create. and how many fields are supported for this pie chart, how many fields are used for this donut chart. And but I am not here today to directly create the visualizations. Firstly, I would like to understand what tool is this, what are the different functionalities or options that are available in this tool, and if I want to explore some features of it, what are the different navigation options that I have in this. So those are the common things that you just need to refer, Seema, if I open my basic guide, there are some major components in Power BI. Seema, in the same tool, what he is telling you that in this same tool, he is telling you in Power BI desktop, you have the different components. What components he is telling? First component is the Power Query. Second component is the Power View or the report view. Third most component is a Power Pivot data model. And the final one is a Power BI service. So, out of these four, what are the three that are related to desktop? That means, except the last component, the first three are available in your desktop. So, what are the major components in Power BI? If someone asks us, we just need to tell that we have major components in Power BI. So in the Power BI desktop, we have Power Query, Power View, or a Power Pivot data model. After we create the reports by using these first three components, I will be publishing my report to the Power BI service for the client reference. Now understand that what client is telling you now, what this Microsoft guy is telling you. This one. So Power BI desktop is an individual tool. In this Power BI desktop, I have three major components: Power Query, Power View, Power Pivot data model. So what is Power Query? What is a Power View? What is a Power Pivot data model? Where I can find these components in the same tool. How can I find them? So if I just want to refer, Seema, whenever I am just closing this report, and you can see my screen. This was a simple report that we have created by the name of Karthik. I'm just opening it. The same Power BI report, I'm just opening it. So assume that you are just freshly opening your Power BI file after you download this. So I'm just trying to open the Power BI file. Yeah. So whenever I have opened the Power BI tool or Power BI desktop tool, so what is this view defaultly called? Is that Power View or the report view, where you can build your visualizations. So whenever you open the Power BI desktop tool, the default view that will be opened for all of us is the Power View or the report view. So how can I say this component name is Power View or report view? Is that where you can build your visualizations. So this is the default view that is available whenever I open my Power BI desktop. So this view name is called Power View or a report view, where I can build my visualizations into my data canvas. So blindly, if you open the tool, if you can see this canvas pane and visualization pane, by default that is report view. How am I telling that? See, at the left side, what you can see now, where it is showing a report to view. Report. So this is a place where I can build my visualizations. Then what are another components? What are another components? So I am just listing. See, sir, whenever you opened the Power BI, the default view is report view that you are telling. But why the number is given like a 2? Why not a 1? So why I am giving the count or the sequence of the number as 1 to the Power Query? To the Power Query. So what is the importance of giving priority 1 for the Power Query? And later, this pivot component, pivot data model is a later discussion. After completion of these two, we will go to the third component, pivot data model. So this is a default view I am getting when I open my Power BI tool, but I am giving the number as a 2 to this, but where the number is 1 for Power Query. So what is this numbering? What is the use of them? I will just go through and discuss it. Seema. So this is a view when I open my Power BI, and what I'll do is that. So how many requirements that has been given to Karthik yesterday, ma? There were some 5 requirements that was given by client yesterday. See, so one new requirement has been added to his list, to Karthik list. Show only distributor name wise cell in a bar chart, traditional bar chart, in a bar chart. Just observe this one. Based upon the requirement, I'll teaching you what is importance of each component, which component will help us to fulfill this requirement. So just tell me what are the fields that are available in this. Just tell me what are the fields here. Distributor name,
cell in,
and cell in. What is the visual name that is available?
bar chart.
Bar chart. So where I need to go for firstly, where I can see the visualizations?
Power BI desktop.
Power BI desktop. After opening the Power BI desktop, the default view itself is the report view. So in this layer I can create. See, in order to create this, what I need some data. So do you already have loaded the data to your Power BI report or not? Yes. How the data can be loaded to the Power BI? By using a get data option. Connect to the Excel workbook. So if your data is available in Excel, I just clicked on L'Oreal Sales and Stock. Just to click OK. Automatically that data will be pulled onto this layer. By using get data option, I can get that data. So I was trying to load the data. It has been loaded to my tool, and then after my current requirement is this. So what is the current requirement? Create some sample bar chart. Visual. So based upon a distributor and their cell in value. So is this the requirement that client is asking or something else? So just look at, show only the distributor name wise cell in a bar chart. That means only the distributor name means, is he expecting distributor name along with code or only the name?
Only the name.
So what is the data that you have in your column, distributor column?
We do have code also.
We do have distributor code and also name. Then what is the next task of Karthik? What he should do?
Removing the code and only we display the name.
How can he do that? So do we have the flexibility directly to remove the separations on this layer? So you will be getting the option directly to delete this column, not the separation. So there is no such options that are available. So that means if I want to separate or if I want to combine, if I want to rename or any kind of the basic transformation operations, I need some editor. That means sometimes whenever you open Excel file, by default that will be giving it to you viewer or not? Viewer. So whenever you click on edit option, enable edit option, then only that Excel file is editable for you. Did you encounter any time?
Yes.
So whenever you open some Excel files, so most of the cases it will be in view mode. That means like read only mode. So you need to, if you want to interact with some columns, if you want to click on some columns, just need to click on enable editing. That means editor. I need to have some editor. So in the read only mode, that means a view mode. This is a view mode. In the view mode, I can just see the data. I can play around with the data. So what view is called here? What view is called this? Power view. So can you change something? Can you modify something on data in the power view? In the view mode, can you edit? No.
No.
So where we can do editor. So just to take you to the definition of a component, I was trying to take this example. So if I want to modify something on the data, then what is my next goal? I just need to use some editor if I have any component or any tool that is available in my same Power BI desktop. So this is Power BI desktop is an independent tool. In this independent tool, I do have different components. And in these different components, the default view is the Power View or report view, where I can build the visualizations. But someday or today, one new requirement has been added. That new requirement is showing the distributor name only, not along with the code in a bar chart that I would like to show. So Karthik went and he opened the tool. He just simply clicked on the visualization and he was just dragging and dropping the distributor name and the selenium value onto the visible. And then he encountered that he's able to see code and a name both. So for this case, this layer does not help us. We just need some component which works like an editor for us, where I can edit my data. So that editing feature is available in my Power BI by clicking on this button. By clicking on this button, transform data. So you can just see some content is displayed here when I hover on this. What it is telling you? Use the Power Query editor to connect, prepare, and transform data. That means it is giving us the flexibility to modify or to prepare or to create some data or not. See, use the Power Query editor to connect to any data. We can prepare our own data. We can also transform, means we can modify. Transforming means I can transform myself by changing my dressing, by changing all my activities and all. I can also transform my data in my own fashion. So I may need to open another component in my Power BI. That another component is the Power Query. In order to open this Power Query in my same Power BI desktop layer, I just need to click on this. I just need to click on this transform data button. Just drop down, you can just click on transform data, or other case, you can simply click on this pencil layer. Just it will automatically navigate you to another window. Sima. So at the back of your tool. So what is this called now? Sir, in my Power BI desktop, I can see two windows now. What is this window? What is the back window? What is this front window? What is this back window? What is this window?
One is the desktop and one is the Power Editor.
So yeah, so desktop is okay. You need to change your wording now. What component is this? The backend component is this, and what component is?
Report view.
Yeah, this is
Viewer,
the report view. Very nice. So what about this?
editor.
Our query editor, where I can edit my data, where I can transform my data. So how I'm going now? Just to click on transform data, automatically some entire new window is getting open to me. So you can just enlarge this and you can see your data that you have loaded. You can see your data that you have loaded. So this is the file that you have loaded to your Power BI. And in this file, what are the columns that you have? In this file, what are the columns that you have? A date column, a distributor name column, a brand column, a category column, a sub-brand column. So you can also move the columns between. So I'll just tell that. So brand, sub-brand, and their category and distribution channel, material and all. What is my goal now? I don't want to tell you the entire data, how it looks like. So what is my goal? I just need to separate. What is my goal now? I just need to separate code and the name separately. That means after this hyphen, the name should come into a new column and code should come onto another new column. So what is my final goal? So I just need to create my visible ID N3 distributor and some cell in value 300. ID N3 e-commerce and some cell in value is like 600. So this way the client is expecting. This way the client is expecting. He's not expecting any code before this name. Code before this name. So that is the reason we just need to remove the code in the distributor name column. So this is a column, this is another column, this is another column. So this is the distributor name. This is the cell in value column. So that you have in your Power BI now. So distributor name I have, which has a code and name in it. I have cell in value too, that is a numerical quantity. So just look at how simply we can do this. Seema, as an expertise that I can do, just right click on the column. I will not disturb the original columns. I will just duplicate the column first. So my original column will still be available at the place. Okay, what I'm trying to do, I just try to duplicate the column. After duplicating it, you can find the column at the last of your data. So after duplicating it, what I'll do, I will just split the column by delimiter. I'll just split the column by delimiter. So delimiter means what, ma? So between the code and the name, what is the special character that you have? That is called delimiter. Special characters that are available between the words in a column. Between the words in a column. In this case, what is the delimiter? In this case, what is the delimiter that you have?
Hyphen.
Hyphen. So based upon this hyphen, I can separate my columns. So this delimiter can be hyphen, delimiter can be slash, delimiter can be star, delimiter can be space also between the characters. Now I got a better choice. So I can just separate my columns. Before records one column, after records another column. That gives me only the names in a column to create my visible. So I'll just split the column based upon my delimiter. So what is the delimiter that you have? Hyphen. So I'll just click on hyphen and that separates my column. Can you just see more how he has done?
Yes.
By delimiter, the column is able to split by code and also by name. I'll just give the naming convention now properly. Distributor code, and here it is distributor name. So why it is not coming? Because another name is already there. So for this, you can just give only distributor because it has a name and code both in it. So that is the reason we are giving a proper naming. Distributor name. So this is the code. This is the name now. So do you have the requirement that you can fulfill now?
Srinivas, if we
only-
need to remove that ID N3 also.
ID N3. So that is a
Yeah.
name. That is a name actually. So if they ask you to remove, then that is a different story. Again, we need to split the columns by spaces.
Okay,
We
yeah.
need to remove this by spaces. Lastly, you need to give window marco and all. So I'll tell you, like
Okay.
advancement of splitting, I'll tell you. Just
Okay.
I'm trying to get you to some understanding on Power Query, what is the importance of it. See, show only the distributor name. Do I have distributor name now?
Yes.
So what I am doing here is, Sima, you can just look at your Power BI desktop. So in your Power BI desktop, do you have distributor name and a code separately in this file?
Yes.
Yes. This meeting is being recorded.
It has been loaded or not? I'm just getting some disturbance. Yeah. Sima, before I apply any changes, I can see the previous stage itself. So distributor name, material and all. So I can see, but there is no distributor code and name separately. So where I have done the transformation? In the Power Query. Yes or not? Where I have done the transformation? In the Power Query editor. See, I would like to add these two columns into my report view. See, I would like to add these two columns that I have been transformed into my report. What you just need to do is that close and apply. You just click on close and apply in Power Query. Power Query is the backend, is heart of this report view, where you create a transform data and that will be applied to this report view. That is the reason I was given the name or the number to the Power Query is 1. That means if I do some change in Power Query, that will be applied at the report. If I do any small change, even if I do full stop, even if I keep comma after my distributor name in Power Query, that will be visible in my report. That is the reason I have given the number count as a 1 for Power Query. Number 2 is a report view. So where we can create a transform, edit the data layer is the Power Query editor. You can just see. After close and apply, can you see now? There are 3 changes that we have done. Original column that we have renamed as a distributor, if you have remembered. And the original column is duplicated. And that column is getting into 2 different names now. Can you see that? So one is a distributor name, the second one is a distributor code. One is a distributor name, second one is a distributor code. What is the requirement? Do I still need to use this distributor or do I still need to use some other column now?
Only the distributor name.
See, just remove this. What is the need for me now? Take distributor. What is the difference between the previous one and the current one?
The distributed code is not having.
Yeah. So previously we were having a code and a name. I'll just show what was the previous visual that you have created. I was taking this one before. So what is the difference between the original data versus modified data? This original data has a code and a names, but this modified data has only name. How you are able to remove this code from the name? How you are able to remove? By
Using transform data.
using the transform data. There is one layer. That layer is called Power Query Editor. That is one of the major component in my Power BI. So I can go to the Power Query Editor. I can transform my data. That is the reason we have the different components. Each component is having its own practice. See, even if you do a small change, a renamed column or anything, you just need to do close and apply. Once you do this close and apply, automatically whatever the changes that you have done, like adding the column, renaming the column or removing the columns and all, will be applied once you do close and apply to this reporting layer. For any small change will be applied over here. So, sir, you are telling about Power Query. And what are the major importance or major attributes that we can cover in a Power Query editor? If you ask me, we have a lot of things to cover in the Power Query. We have a lot of things to cover in Power Query. You can just see now. So these many transformations that I can do. So Power Query is ETL transformation editor. I can rename the tables. I can rename the columns. I can do the data type changes. I can split the columns. Now, whatever the work that we have done is this. I can split a column based upon some delimiter for some requirements. I can merge some column. That means I can combine some columns. That means multiple columns into single column. So these many transformations that I have, I will delete everything. I will freshly tell whatever the things that you can do from your side. Firstly, how many major components that you have? Now you should tell
Power Query
sequence.
Power Query.
With a sequence. So can you give the number 1 to the report view, or it should be the Power View? Always the number sequence will be given to Power Query is 1, because whatever the changes that you have done in Power Query, those are applying to the front end report view, but not the reverse way. So if you do any small change, Sima, distributor, if I keep just a distributor A, just do close and apply in the Power Query. How your data is getting changed, you can just see. Previously it was distributor. What happened? Did anyone notice?
Renamed.
Name distributor space A. That means even for a small change, if I do in Power Query, that will be applied to the report view. If you do some change here, if I do some change here, so I have removed A in the report view, I will just go to the transform data. Is that change applied back?
Yes.
Is that change applied back?
Yes.
See, as easy as that, we can rename the columns easily. But applying some transformation, splitting the columns, merging the columns is not that easy to rename it. It's not that easy to rename it. So just go to Power Query, always do some change and observe brand CD, and you have renamed something here, and you can just see your brand, how the brand is renamed, and I'll just keep this brand as a C here, some renaming, and I can just see the changes between the tables. So renaming kind of things that can be easily replicated. So now what is my goal? What I need to discuss? What is this Power Query and where I need to use this? Where I need to use this layer? What is its importance? So for this, firstly, the major components in a Power BI are four. One is a Power Query. Second one is a Power View or the report view. Third one is a Power Pivot data modeling. Fourth one is a Power BI service. We discuss topic by topic, and based upon every topic, we will be going to the Power Query. And see, my first and foremost thing, Power Query is the ETL transformation editor, where we can clean, shape, transform, or modify the data based on requirements. See, my ETL means what? Data extraction. We can extract some data, we can transform that some data, we can load some data. So that means it is a kind of a transformation editor where we can edit our own data after loading the data to my Power BI tool. And you can do many changes. You can rename the columns, you can delete the columns, you can update the columns, you can do any kind of transformations that you would like to do. This is the first major definition. If someone asks you what is Power Query, is that Power Query is a transformation editor where I can modify my data, where I can clean my data, where I can shape my data in more beautiful fashion, in more meaningful fashion. So what is the data? So what data it is speaking about? So what data it is speaking about? So now you assume that you are not working anywhere. You are not working anywhere. And also you did not even get any requirement from the client. Any requirement from the client. You are freshly open Power BI desktop tool. You have been freshly open the Power BI desktop tool. And we will analyze from the first stage how the Power Query can be used and what are the basic things that should be learned in Power Query and all that can be covered. See. So after coming onto this Power Query layer, I am just telling you this is a transformation editor where I can clean, transform or shape the data. So what that data actually, what that data? So what is the data here? What is the data term indicates? So what is the data term indicates? See, if I simply open, so one of my client is giving me some L'Oreal sales and stock file, which is a real-time project file that I'll just show it to you. So I have been mapped for a project. That project name is called L'Oreal. I have been mapped for a project. That project name is called L'Oreal. See, any developer, even Karthik or any developer working in company. So after choosing the tool as a Power BI, you cannot directly create the requirements. We cannot directly create the requirements, even if you know. So there are some visual and there are some columns that are available. First and foremost thing, as I told before, at least 5 to 10 minutes of the time you should spend on the data that has been given to you. Firstly, what is data? What is data? Data is what? It's a kind of a table where it will have some columns and rows. See, so this is a requirement related frame. How many columns are there in this? In my selected for? How many columns are there? How many columns are there here?
Two columns.
Column A, column B. How many rows are there?
7.
Yeah, so this comes under column name. So we will count. These are the rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how the rows will be decided? Horizontal orientation is the row. Column orientation, that means vertical orientation is the column. So if I open my real-time project file, how can I read my data? So this is one of the file that has been given to Karthik. He need to work on this data in Power BI. So this data has been given to the developer, whoever the developer it is, either it is Sai Kiran or either it is Navina, either it is Ashwini or whoever. So they have been opened this data. This file has given to them to their email. They just clicked on the file. They just opened the file. They cannot simply load this file directly to the Power BI until they understand what data it is. So you can understand the data in your Excel. You can also understand this data after loading the Power BI also. It's up to you. So, but as a learner, as a trained guy, so I will always go through the data, what this client is actually doing. So I have been assigned to a project. That project name is called L'Oreal. L'Oreal. So project name is a L'Oreal Paris. The project name is a L'Oreal Paris. So for this project, I just need to work on some reports creation. So what business they are doing, I just need to understand first. So most of you know, so L'Oreal will do on the cosmetics, DBS Bank will do on the banking, New York Life Insurance will work on the insurance domain, and Robert Bosch, POSCH, they will work on manufacturing of the different tools. And if you give me some other example, Havells is a place where they manufacture all the electrical goods, and so Apple is one of the manufacturer who manufactures the mobiles and the laptops. Are you aligned on this now? What is the project actually? So project is what? Some business, some manufacturer is doing. Some business, some banker is doing. Some business, some toolkit manufacturer is doing. Some business, some electrical manufacturer is doing. Some business, some electronic products that has been manufactured by Apple. So as a developer, if Karthik is assigned to L'Oreal, Navina can assign to DBS, Sai Kiran can be assigned to NYL, and Ashwini can be assigned to Bosch. So that means every project is having their own data, will have their own data. So data means what? Data is a simple Excel file. A simple Excel file. After you load the data to your Power BI, it looks like this. There are different columns in it. I have column A, column B, column C, column D, column E, column F. Those column names are date, distributor name, brand, category, sub-brand, distribution channel, material, and I have some numerical quantities like sell-in, sell-through, sell-out, sell-out value and all. There are some numerical columns that I have. So I want to keep only few columns that I would like to learn on it, not to get confused with much of the things in it. So with the real-time project, what are the common things that you can find in your layer? Got stuck. Just a second. Yeah. So I want to remove few of the columns. So I will do it at my Excel level itself instead of doing them. This is not reactive. So this I can do in one by one fashion. So let me just delete the columns. So these are the columns that I have in my data. So I have some column names like a ST value, so which is called a sell-through value. So I'll tell you what is sell-through and all the story. That is the reason I'm just opening this. So I will also delete this. Now, so this is the data that has been given to you. So this data is related to a project called L'Oreal Paris. So if you are working on a banking domain, the data might be related to the banking. If you are working on a retail domain, L'Oreal Paris is retail. That means they are selling some beauty care related products. What beauty care related products? Maybe shampoos, fragrances, or hair makeup, or body makeup, or any kind of related products they ideally manufacture. There are unlimited number of products they manufacture, especially for the cosmetics and the beauty care region of the world. They are the leaders. So when you're mapped to a project called L'Oreal Paris, obviously you can assume the data will be like this. So before they give data, so okay, there might be some vendors, there might be some distributors. They are selling all the cosmetics or beauty care related products. If they are selling some products by each distributor or by each brand, there might be some sale. There might be some sale. So the same thing that has been showed it to you. So before you understand your original L'Oreal data, I'll just tell one simple, very generic example. So what I would like to tell is that so there are some customers. So went to shop, Sai Kiran, Ashwini, and you can just find Swami. There are three customers, and they went to Mart. So that means a warehouse I can call, or a store I can call simply. So Sai Kiran went to DMart, and he also went to DMart, and this also went to DMart, and they purchased some product or the brand, some fragrance A, some B. So you can just assume some retail product, any kind of a retail product they purchased. So they purchased some deodorant or the fragrance for them, and its sale is this. So for the fragrance A, it is a bit costlier and compared to other two products. 170. So you just observe that what this table is speaking. Just tell me what this table is speaking. What this table is speaking. Just understand what this table has.
Sales details.
So now I will include one simple column that gives you some more information. So he went to the shop on 26th July. He went to the shop on 27th July. He went to the shop on 28th July. Now you just understand that very simple thing. See, data is not a different world. So everything that we do on regular activities is the data. You wake up today, you went to some retail shop, you purchased some milk product that has been told by your mother. And when you went to your shop, when you went to the shop, that date will count. Which shop you went, that shop will count. Which customer went to the shop, that name will count. What shop he went and what product he purchased. So if you purchased Heritage milk packet, and what is the cost of it? That means since we wake up in the morning till end of the day, so whatever the purchase that we've done, everything is a business, everything is a simple project. So if you assume this is a simple, data, if you assume, so there is a store called DMart, some region, maybe some Hyderabad region. So you have some DMart, and to this DMart, these three customers went to the shop. So on which date? So one is on 26th, one is on 27th, one is on 28th. So what they purchased? Fragrances. Fragrance A, fragrance B, fragrance C. What are the sales that they have? 200, 180, 170. That means what it speaks about. Is it a sales of the DMart that has been done or not? Is this the sales data that DMart has done for the month of July or not? Or anything else that you can find? What is available in this file? So this is some sales data that has been done at a DMart. Yes or not? You are aligned on that?
Yes.
Yes. So this is a simple data file that has been assigned, that has been given to you. You can also create your own report on this one. See, as simple as that. I'll just copy paste the data. See, the data, small tables can be easily copy pasted. Easily copy pasted. Now I can show my contribution. So what is the fragrance that has been purchased by Sai Kiran? See, I'll just show some bar chart and the product and their sale. Product and their sale. So who purchased fragrance A, who purchased fragrance B, who purchased fragrance C? If you want to see that, you can just take a table visible. Just take the customers too. Just take the customers too. Is it the same thing that is showing in your Excel or not? So there is a customer called Sai Kiran Ashwini Swami. There are products, 3 products, there are some sales. That means every simple transaction that you make is a data. Every simple transaction that you make is a data. So even for your small transaction for the 3 customers on the 3 days, they went to the shop. So this comes under data. Then how come? Then how about a L'Oreal? They are doing their business for the years. They are doing for the different distributors. That means different D-marts. So if you have different D-marts in India, they have different distributor marts in France region. And in our case, if these 3 guys purchased only 3 products, but in real-time world, everyone will like their own product. There are a lot of sub-brands, lot of materials others will purchase. Then if you speak about L'Oreal Paris, it is a manufacturing data. So they purchase or they may manufacture some brands, L'Oreal Paris, Maybelline, Garnier, some beauty care products. And they are different categories. They manufacture the products for makeup. They manufacture the products for skin related. They manufacture the products for hair care as well. So anyone can purchase their own product. See, one person, Ashwini, can purchase makeup product, Swami can purchase a skincare product, and a Sai Kiran can purchase hair product. And after they purchase, what will be captured? Their sales or not? Their sales or not? Yes. Obviously, before building any report, just spend 5 to 10 minutes of the time on the data. So I have a date. That means, so on whatever the date, this distributor has sold some brand on some category makeup, some sub brand maybe makeup. This is one of the material that has been sold. So what is the sale price of that material? This is what. And what is in transit value? And so what are there are some transactions that you can see. This is what your Excel file. This is what your real-time project file that has been assigned to you. After understanding the data, what is your next goal? What is your next goal? What you should do? Just
Load data into.
Load the data into Power BI. Load the data into Power BI. So our aim is that we understand the data first. There are some columns, and those columns are speaking about some L'Oreal business. And once I understand the data, I can happily load my same Excel file or the data that we call, or the data source that we call into my Power BI tool. Can happily load it. Can just delete this dummy table. And I will remove it. How can I connect to the data? As simple as that. How can I connect to the data, ma? Using Get Data option, Excel workbook, same story, and then L'Oreal sales and stock, because this file is available in my machine. So this project file has been given to me from my client. So just click OK. Automatically the data gets loaded. Where it is, it will be visible under the data pane after loading it. Under the data pane after loading it. So we can just see now. Now we are loading the real-time project file, which is a L'Oreal sales data. You can just see that file is not that small. This file is around 30 MB. Because all the real-time projects will look like these many rows. There are some 5,28,000 rows are there. But what was the file that I was telling you? Only 3 rows. But will the real-time project files will have these many rows? No, there are a lot of customers, lot of stores, lot of products, lot of sales and all. So that is the reason you may have a lot of information in your original projects, real-time projects after you join in a company. After you join in a company. Now I have been loaded the data. The first and foremost thing is don't do anything in your report view, just directly go to the Power Query. Just directly go to the Power Query. So how did you go to the Power Query, ma? Where I have clicked on? Just click on transform data. So assume that today only you have started working on Power BI. So you have you got some understanding on the data. You just loaded the data to your Power. Now I have loaded my data to Power BI. I just came onto the Power Query. What is the importance of Power Query, ma? Why I come onto the Power Query layer? So I need to modify some basic things on my data that after loading. I need to modify something. So what you need to modify something on your data source? What is your data source? For which client you are working?
L'Oreal. And
L'Oreal. Yes. So what data they have been given to you? Some sales related data for each brand or some each category and some each date. So in the Power Query layer, after you load the data, you can just see how it looks like. This is the Power Query layer. After you load the data, you can just see this column. See, ma? At the left side in the Power Query, you can just see queries. That means the sources. Whatever how many sources you load, all of them will be visible here. Sheet 1. So do I need to keep the same name like a sheet 1 or do I need to keep the project name like a L'Oreal sales? So is it the meaningful way to keep sheet 1? No. Simply I will rename it as a L'Oreal sales and a stock. That means what I am doing, am I able to rename my table name or not? Yes. So that means even for renaming, even for changing the columns, even for deleting the columns and all, we can do this. Power Query is the best choice to do all the transformations, data transformation. That is the reason it states that Power Query is a transformation editor where we can clean, shape, or transform and modify the data based upon some requirements. Even if the requirements are not given, you just need to make sure your table is well created without any issues or the errors. Now, creating these visuals is a different story. Creating this requirement is a different story. Now, you are supposed to understand your Power Query layer. After understanding all the data transformations, again we come back to this reporting view. We come back to this reporting. So now what I'm going to tell you is we just need to spend minimum 4 to 5 classes on this Power Query layer to understand what is this query settings, what is this data canvas, what are these queries, and what are the different options that I have in my Power Query layer in my first major component in Power BI. So what is enter data? What is a refresh preview? How can I remove the columns? How can I choose the columns? How can I split the columns? How can I change the data types and all that I will come and I will discuss on to this Power Query layer. So there are different transformations that you can find. See, similar to your Excel. If you open your Excel, you have a lot of things. Under home ribbon, there are a lot of things. Under insert, a lot of things. Formulas, data, review, view, help. So Power Query is the advanced version of Excel, as I told. You are also having the similar features. So transform data, add column, view, tools, help, and all. So this is the place where we load the data, where we understand the client data. where we understand the client data. See, you are able to load the data like a date, distributor name, brand, category, sub brand, and all. So one simple question before we close the session. Ideally, we'll be having one sale, but can you just see these guys are having a lot of sales? Can you just see these guys are having a lot of sales? So I will remove some unwanted columns which I don't need. Which I don't need. See, in any real-time projects or any kind of the data, so what sort of sale that you have observed just before? A sale. Ideally, any business will have a sales or a profit. But when you come on to your L'Oreal data, real-time project file, how many types of sales are there? There is one sale, sell in value. There is one sale, sell through value. There is one sale, sell out value. There is another thing called a returns value. There is another thing called a in transit value. So why these three sales are available for one project? So that means, so they are capturing their sale in different ways. So sell-in value is that L'Oreal is selling the product to the DMart is a sell-in. DMart is selling the product to the retail store is the sell-through. Retail store is selling the product to the Sai Kiran, like a general store is selling the product to the Sai Kiran is a sell-out. That means a simple sale is categorized into three different ways. So that is the reason I have been telling you we need to spend some time on understanding the data. See, if client asks you to create a bar chart, so distributor wise sale, if he is just giving you distributor wise sale, what sale you choose, What sale you choose? Is it sell in value, sell through, or sell out? Who told you to use sell in? Who told you to use sell in?
Because distributors will directly sell through. Yeah.
So we are
It's
not clear.
Yeah,
So
it's
we are not
general
clear.
understanding. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So general understanding, but
Right,
we are
right.
not clear on that part.
Right.
So there are three different sales, but I should understand what sale is speaking about what. So what I'm telling here is simply if you go through a sample Excel, so you have a sell in, you have a sell through, you have sell out. So three sales are captured there. So this sell in is what, L'Oreal manufacturer unit means what? They purchase some product. So that means they manufacture some product. So L'Oreal manufacturer sell the products to the distributors. So this is what the sell-in. This is what the sell-in. So what about sell-through? This distributor sells the product to, for example, in our case, DMart. So distributor is the main warehouse, but DMarts are the sub warehouses in the city. And what about the sellout? These DMarts are selling the products to the customers. So are you able to categorize what is the difference between each and every sale? Now? Yes. So there are different sale that they are capturing, and based upon who is selling the product, that name has been given to them. Who is selling the product? See, this is a sell through. This is sell out. So that is the reason international manufacturers are the heroes. They don't even miss a single transaction. So that is the reason they are the leaders in the world. They capture every minute particle of the sale. They are not missing the sale from manufacturing to distributor. They are not missing the sale from distributor to the DMart. They are not missing the sale from DMart to the customer. But ideally, as an ideal guy, what I will think, ma? So what L'Oreal is selling the product directly to the customer. So this we call as a sale in our own terms. This we call as a sale in our own terms. But is this the case with the real-time projects? Is this the case with the real-time projects? So which one is correct? This one or this one? They are capturing only sale like this directly from L'Oreal to customer. Directly L'Oreal is selling to customers or not? No. There is some media to reach this product to the customers. Yes or not? What is that media? Manufacturing to distributors, they are capturing some column. That column is a sell-in. And what is sell-through? That a distributor to the DMarts. So that means we have different distribution channels in India. So there are two distribution channels in India. One distribution channel is related to North. They sell those products to their DMarts in the North region. Another distribution channel is from South. They sell those products to the DMarts in South region. So what about sellout? Finally, these DMarts will sell those products to the customers. So three kind of the columns that are available. So what I mean to say is in real-time projects, we don't have a simple sale or profit. Sometimes some new columns will be available. We should understand their significance. We should understand their importance. Then only we can create our visualizations. So that's it for today's session, guys. What I mean to say is, even after knowing about the different components in my Power BI, but we should understand what is importance of each component. And after loading the data, I cannot simply create my transformations, just spend some time on the data to understand. And then after we will be discussing about how to change the name of the columns, how to change the data types of the columns in the next class. So that will be the important things to know. So we'll be starting our syllabus from Monday. As you know, we'll not be conducting the sessions on weekends, Saturdays and Sunday. So we'll be starting our syllabus from Monday. So which starts with the Power Query is the layer. I'll be sharing the syllabus content with you all on Monday. You can also refer to it, what we are covering and all, what are the components that we are covering and all. So this is the end for today's session, guys. As you know, we will be conducting the session from Monday to Friday. So please do join to the sessions from by 7:45 AM sharp on everyday basis. So if anyone is missing the sessions, try to go through the recordings. That will make your life easy to come on to the next class. So that's it, everyone. Thank you all. We'll meet up on Monday's session. Thank you.
Thanks.